When you encounter a challenge, how can you tell when the challenge you're experiencing is a sign that you should stop what you're doing, or if it's a sign that you're meant to jump higher? Good morning. The answer is that it's more or less up to you. There are some things that we're all equally obligated to do, like the 613 commandments. But then there are some times when you must choose if we are ready to take initiative or not. Rabbi of Chabad in Belgium once asked the Rebbe if he should switch yeshivas and go to a higher level of learning. And he wrote to the Rebbe that he was getting pushback from some of his teachers, and he started to be doubtful about the move. And the Rebbe underlined the words doubtful and told him to stay where he was. But then time passed, and he had a stronger resolve to switch, and the Rebbe invited him then to make the change. This week, we read about going out into battle. The kind of battle discussed in this week's Torah portion is different than all the others. It's talking about a war that's optional. You could decide if you want to fight or not. The spiritual parallel in our lives of the optional war is to take on things that seem, well, optional. I can think of some things in my life that I just felt that should be there, but no one said that you need to do this. Like, should there be another school in LA? Should there be a Jewish family library? So what I notice is that when I'm doing something that it's a direct obligation, I don't have too many questions. There's not too much noise in my brain. But when I draw beyond the lines, I can have a question, why are you doing this and who says it's going to work? So that's why there's a whole section of Torah that we read this week about taking initiative. The title of it is When You Go Out to War. It's not when you have to go out to war. It's when you decide to. So the Torah specifically veers from the usual language and doesn't say when you go out to war against your enemies, negative echa. It says that when you go out to war above your enemies. The Jew has to know when he takes initiative, he's going with God's strength and God's power, and he's completely above the enemy. I dedicate a minute of Torah today to Michael Karpelis in honor of his birthday tonight, for a year of bracha v'atzlacha b'gashmius v'ruchnius. Also can dedicate this to Neshama of Rabbi Drezen, Rabbi Moshe ben Rabbi Tzvi. May his Neshama have an aliyah, and may he be good and interceding on behalf of his family for all good. B'seich Klal Yisrael. Have a wonderful Shabbat.